I'm going to introduce to you our guest speaker, Millionaire Club member, Mr. Tony Petrell. Paul's all yours.
Hey there. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being on. I'm one of the many Millionaire Club members in Legal Shield. I want to go through our presentation real quick. It's very simple. This is called a briefing because it's going to be brief, but you need to get back with the person. If you're a guest, I want you to get back with the person that invited you on. You only have a few days to take advantage of some of the bonuses and the discounted pricing to come on board as a sales associate with Legal Shield. But this opportunity has been around for 50 years now. We've had our 50th anniversary last year. But it was just since COVID that everyone's kind of been aware of. Of course, we've always wanted more income, more time, but now it's more flexibility and work from anywhere to have that independence. Most people have linear income. You're trading time for money, but there's also leveraged income and residual income. Leveraged income is working with a team. And whether you put in 12 hours, 30 hours, 60 hours, you've got a team working too. So you see a lot of times of businesses where the owners kind of pull back, but the money keeps coming in. That's leveraged income. And then residual income, where the retirement plan or the money's working for you. It keeps coming in over and over and over. Those are the two areas we want to talk about tonight, because those two areas of income is what Legal Shield specialty is. Been around since 1972, as I said, 4.4 million families. We want to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that everyone deserves. And we've been in Forbes, CNBC, Yahoo, Bloomberg. And think about this. Remember when we used to have CDs and DVDs, and now, you can watch movies on your cell phone, right? You shopped at the mall, but now we've got what? We've got Amazon. You used to buy CDs, and now we've got Spotify and all kinds of different ways to listen to music right at your fingertips. But what about access to the justice system? I mean, it's pretty much been the same way, even when, Abraham Lincoln was an attorney and people would come in and he'd say, well, here's what you got to pay me. You don't know walking in what it's going to cost, how long it's going to take. It's a kind of an antiquated system. But what if we go ahead and get an application, a mobile app rather, and you get legal help at your fingertips? Now it's disruptive, it's innovative, and it's priced affordably. So here's who we are. This is our Legal Shield legal plan. $29.95 a month, whether it's you or whether it's your whole family, and that's for dependents, qualified dependents covered up to age, under age 26. And the first three bullet points are personal legal advice, contract and document review, and letters and phone calls. Then you get your will put together also, traffic ticket assistance. That's actually representation in court for moving traffic violations, assuming you're not under the influence, you're not fleeing a felony, but everyone's licensed, tagged, and insured. You could get a traffic ticket. If that court allows us to go fight the ticket for you, so that's what your rights are. And if that district allows it, we will send an attorney with you or for you to fight that ticket. Civil trial defense just means for covered situations, we give you trial and pre-trial hours, pre-trial and trial hours. Not a lot of hours, but there's a few hours there. Tax audit assistance, same thing. There's a few hours there for you. But we don't think you're going to use those two a lot. Most people don't get sued a lot. And most people don't get audited a lot. But there's a lot of people who had need a 25 preferred member discount. That's for divorce, bankruptcy, child custody, criminal charges, DUI, pre-existing cases. So 25% off. If you know anyone that had a divorce in the last 10 years, I'll bet you they wish they had 25% off. Or if someone had a pre-existing health insurance, health problem, I bet you they wish they had that covered at least at 25% off. So we give a preferred member discount. We also give 24/7 emergency protection, as you can see in that bullet point. And that just means if you're detained or pulled over, you can go ahead and pick up your mobile app, talk to an attorney within a couple minutes instead of a couple hours. Let me go back up to these three bullet points, because this is really, to me, the most important part of the membership. Personal legal advice. Call once, twice, 10 times a day. You have a provider law firm in your state or province, and in Texas, it's going to go to Ross Matthews. In Fort Worth, if you're here in North Carolina, it's going to go to Merritt Webb in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you're in Michigan, it's going to go to Powers, Chapman, DiAugustino, Myers, Amelia out of Troy, Michigan. If you're in Ohio, it'd be McGuire and Schneider. The list goes on and on. But then we have a network of 6,000 or so attorneys in all 50 states, and a network that you can get advice from. But this first one, personal legal advice. Maybe you call the law firm because the neighbor's doing it again. It's the fence, it's the dog, it's the property line, it's that blue truck, it's the noise. Or the homeowners association is saying something and you think they're wrong. The oil change place didn't fix things and now you got a leak in your oil. Maybe you've got a problem with the contractor who won't come back and finish the job. Maybe you got a problem with the garbage company who won't come up and pick your trash up or missed it. It can be something small, it can be something big, it can be a dry cleaner mishap, and they're not saying that they're liable. You need to seek wise counsel. You're the leader in your household. You need to be able to pick up the phone and not Google and not go on Facebook and say, what did you do in this situation? What should I do in this situation? Talk to your attorney. Get your thinking on it. Get their thinking on it. Someone who knows your rights and knows your options. So advice to most people, just to be able to get advice and say, don't do this, do this. This is how it works. You're in the wrong here, do this. You're in the right here, do this. But you have a certain time limit. You know what I mean? So people who know the rules are going to be talking to you about your rights. Next thing, next bullet point says contract and document reviewed up to 15 pages. It could be a cell phone contract, a gym membership, 0 payments till 2030 at a furniture store. There could be a letter from the homeowners association or your mortgage company or your credit card company. It could be something you're signing or borrowing or leasing, whatever it is. How about you just send it over to us, upload it, fax it, get it to us, and let another pair of eyes, someone who went to law school and reviews contracts for a living, takes a look at all the fine print and tells you yes or no, good or bad, or otherwise. And then if there's something that we need to write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf, we'll do a letter or a phone call on an unlimited number of issues. One to the dry cleaner, one to the neighbor, one to the homeowner association, one to the car dealership, one to the contractor that won't come back, one to the city that tore up your front yard, one to the dry cleaner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can't get your security deposit back? Watch what happens when the law firm writes a letter. So we got all these 3 bullet points. The other bullet points are covered, and we even have these domestic services after 90 days, uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, and name change. All for that $30 a month for you and your family. We also have our ID Shield. Now check this out. It monitors everything you would want to have monitored. You get your credit score, and then you can either have 1 bureau monitoring or 3 bureau monitoring. You get your Social Security monitored, your passports monitored, your driver's license, up to 10 emails, your phone number, your medical ID, your username and password. The dark web is monitored. All these things that you want to have monitored are monitored. Social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. So you're going to get an alert from us maybe that something is wrong, and you can see your credit score on the mobile app too. You tell us that something has happened, that we're going to ping you and say, hey, look at the dark web showed up with multiple things, your passport number and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number. 2 of your credit card numbers showed up in the dark web. Someone opened a line of credit. Someone changed your address at the post office. Whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and let you know. And if you're a victim of identity theft, we give you comprehensive restoration with no time limit. That's the key. No time limit. Licensed private investigators will do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. Now, we also give you a Trend Micro maximum security to help with that malware out there and those infections. VPN Proxy 1 turns your Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi into a private Wi-Fi for you to stay away from other people that are getting in on your business when you're at Starbucks or somewhere. Password Manager, we all need that. Helps to dangerous websites, manages and encrypts your passwords. It saves you time. All the things you need in a password manager. And then if you get both plans, you get credit counseling and privacy management. Now, what's the pricing on our ID Shield? Well, if you're an individual, just one person, it's $19.95 a month. For the family like me, it's $34.95. So let's add those two together. On an individual basis, it's up here $39 or $49.90 because that's $29.95 legal, $19.95 individual. I have a family, so I've got the $29.95 legal shield and a $34.95 family ID Shield. But I also added my home business because I have a business named Legal Shield and I have a home business supplement that now I can ask business questions, have business documents reviewed, business letters written for me on my behalf. And that's for any business that you run out of your household. Could be 2 or 3 that you have going on in your household. We also give member perks to anyone who buys the membership. I went to it today. I had to book a hotel and I wanted to see what we had. There were some great rates on some Holiday Inns, unfortunately, and other hotels, but unfortunately they weren't close enough to my destination. So I'll check it next time and it might be close enough. So let me go ahead to the next slide. lot of people are looking for businesses. And if you believe in our membership, if you see the value in our legal plan and ID Shield, then you can say, I want to become an associate. Right now, for you to become an associate, I'm going to circle it right here. It's $99 to come on board, but right now, for 4 more days, it's $49 to become an associate. $49. Now, I looked at Subway franchises when I got out of college. That was years ago. And it was about $250,000 that we'd have to come up with to be able to get the franchise going. The franchise fee and then everything else that came with it. But $99 and now $49 for you. You can start part-time. You can work from anywhere. You can will your book of business to your heirs. They've changed it from 20-year residual income to lifetime residual income. It's a fast start training class online. We also have weekly training classes that some are even in person in areas. And you get aligned with a personal mentor. And so it's a $49 one-time fee to get in the accounting system and become a sales associate. And then how do you run your business? Well, it's something called Legal Shield Advantage Plus. That $24.95 a month gives me my website, and everyone else in here who's an associate gets their website and e-commerce going. Someone can sign up for a membership 24/7 on my site. When you become an associate, they'll be able to sign up on your site. And the commission goes directly to your bank account, all connected to you and your website. In addition to that, the $24.95 Advantage Plus gives you all the online documents, all the online training, and all the bonuses and specials that we run usually on a monthly basis. So you got about 4 more days on some of the bonuses they have going on now, cash bonuses. When you market a membership, let's add them up. On the individual plan, it's $49.95 or $64.90. You can get paid 3 ways. You get paid for enrolling members. You can get paid if your team markets a membership, that's leveraged income. You can get paid residual income. That's 10% of the commissions again on month 13 on what you sold, and you get commissions residual on what your team sells. You have the potential to get override residual income on what your team sells. And we get paid now for lifetime, not just up to 20 years. So look at this, somewhere between $70 and $448 per person that signs up for their membership, you're going to get paid. And I'm looking at the $64.90 plan, right? The family plans. Let's just round it off to $100. If you market 1 membership a week, that's $400 a month. That's $5,200 a year. What does the birthday party look like with $5,200 extra dollars coming in? A few more balloons, maybe a pony, maybe a bounce house, maybe your grandchild has a whole different ball game, right? Maybe you go to the ball game when you got $5,200 coming in because you blessed 1 family a week with this service. What if you sold 100 memberships in 1 month? Well, I guess that's $10,000, isn't it? That's a good month. For some people, it's a good year in 30 days. So sell a little, make a little, sell a lot, make a lot. Move up the commission chart, get paid way more than 70. Get paid anywhere up to $448 per customer. Think about that. What if it was just rounded off to $400 per customer? 1 a week, $400 a week. 20,000 a year. Gotta like it. Leveraged income. Build a team. You might not get $100 off the residual. Off of the income. It varies based on where your commission level is and where your team's commission level is. But the point is this: are you making leveraged income off of your coworkers at your regular job? Yes or no? Most people are not. Are you getting residual income off of your coworkers and off of what you've done, even if you stop working? Most people say no. So we've got commission, big or small, leveraged income, big team or small team, residual income. Keeps going for the lifetime of the membership. Fast Start bonuses. Let me see this. Fast Start bonuses. You can get bonuses up to $1,000 in your first 45 days. Just get with your sponsor. So what do we have? Here's what I recommend. 1, you get your membership, of course, and then Fast Start qualifying your first 20 days. Go to senior associate level. Okay, we'll go. Your new mentor and business partner will go over that with you. Go to manager in the first 45 days. That's going up a couple commission levels. And why would you want to stay down at the bottom commission level when you can move up? And we've said this: people who have a Fast Start make more money. And so we even put a bonus out there for Fast Start qualifiers. Why would you want to go slow when you can go fast? No one likes to get paid slow. We like to get paid fast. We like bonuses too, and I know you do too. Go manager and then get in the performance club. You can get anywhere from $100 a month to $500 a month. When in a bonus, if you're getting $100 in personal premium, you're selling per month. And we also have an opportunity to get some of the greatest trips in the world. I know there's a bunch of us who are going to be going to Puerto Vallarta. Last year we went to Maui out in Hawaii. So if you can do that, you're going to go on the trip. I want to go out right now to Jane Lehman. Jane has a testimony for us. I want to hear from a few people that have their testimony. So if you're up after Jane, go right ahead. Jane, I'll turn it out to you.
Thank you, Tony. Good evening, everyone. You know, my son was about 23 years old. He was still in college. He was living in Grand Rapids, Michigan, on the other side of the state from where I lived. He got a new apartment and he called me. He said, Mom, I told the landlord that I want to have the contract reviewed. And he said, you should have seen his face. His eyes got really big. And he said, you have a lawyer? My son said, I have a law firm. And I said, I did not teach you to be arrogant, but good job. And that's what I love about Legal Shield is I'm teaching the next generations to use lawyers the way they were meant to be used. Back to you, Tony.
That's awesome. Who's next? Karen?
Well, I'm going to talk about traffic tickets.
Okay.
My first traffic ticket I ever got was a 9-yard from 45 to 25. And I called my attorney and they said, well, we can't go to court for you, but what we're going to do is send you a discovery. And I said, what's that? And they sent it to me and they said, enclose the money order. I sent it off to the city of Milwaukee. They waived my ticket in 2 days. And I was
Wow.
so confused. I went to the police station because I thought they must have made a mistake. And the police officer was going like, yeah, get out of here. You're fine. And two weeks later, I found out I got the documentation that hadn't calibrated their equipment for an entire year.
Wow. That's an awesome story.
Technicality, it was really great. It saved my insurance.
All right. I think that's all we have for testimonies tonight, right? I'm just going to go ahead and give you a quick, Gwyneth.
I have one. I was sitting at a red light, run into by a van that was hit by a van. I tapped my app to talk to my attorney. He said, because there's no blood, you're not going to the hospital. Just call us when you get the settlement after the insurance car pays for the totaled car and your months in rehab. So I did that and I got a settlement offer from the insurance company for $9,000. I called up Legal Shield. Is that fair? No, you should get at least $4,000 more. I could either go to court and possibly not get as much as $9,000 and all the hassle, or one letter from my attorney could be used and see if we could do anything. My attorney sent a letter, and instead of $9,000, I got $16,230.
Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Well,
Amazing what
What
happens
do
when an
people do
attorney
when they
steps in.
don't know they have rights?
Yep. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get back to the person that invited you in tonight, and we're going to go ahead and stay on. So for the associates in the room, we will go ahead and get moving on to the next section. I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Paul Archuleta. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, awesome. Thank you, and appreciate that. And I believe from here, we're going to go over to Mr. Erlen Lewis, who's going to give us some announcements. I believe that's the order.
All right, awesome. Well, yeah, you guys heard it right. You know, number one, we have only a few days left for this amazing promotion. Usually it's $99 to get your business started. Just if you start tonight, it's only $49. When I first started 9 years ago, it was $249, which I thought was a good deal. But $49 for the next couple of days. And on top of that, we also have our Beach Bound Blitz, which means we're giving out, our company's actually doing an amazing bonus right now. So if you turn in $100 in premium and 2 recruits, you qualify for a $100 bonus. And so qualifiers will be also entered into a drawing to win one of the 3 trips to Puerto Vallarta. And that'll be announced at the International Convention in Charlotte. So really a lot of things going on right now. I know there'll be a lot more bonuses announced at the International Convention here coming up in the next couple of days. So if you guys haven't registered yet, register tonight. It's still $99. So the best of the best will be giving us all their nuggets out there. So thank you very much there, Mr. Archuleta, and back to you there, sir.
All right, awesome. And actually, believe that would be $49. So I'll give them a little bit of a discount if they know who I am. So that's good. You got to mention Paul Archuleta to the corporate though, or else you're gonna have to pay the extra $50. Appreciate that. Just kidding. And let me go with that. I'm gonna go over to Miss Karen Irish Borrego, who's going to introduce our price promise, I believe. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Archuleta. First of all, I do want to mention that we have, if you're a guest, we have several divisions. We have an insurance broker division, employee benefit division, small business division, ladies of justice division, commercial driver division, and Legal Shield and Espanol. So if you have any questions about those divisions, get back to the person who welcomed you. And Shield Nation is a very successful team and it has an amazing track record. We have 555 associates who are Performance Club qualified, and we have 263 executive directors, 78 six-figure ring earners, and 38 millionaire club members. And my voice is getting all choked up because I'm excited to interview our guest, Miss Ann Palmer, who works and specializes in the employee benefit division. I think she's probably an expert in all divisions, but she lives in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, with her husband, Keith. They enjoy the inlet life, I guess, except for the hurricanes. And here's a couple things about Ann. She's been with Legal Shield for 22 years, and she's written over 8,000 memberships. And she's a $100,000 ring earner, millionaire club member. She's been in Performance Club for 259 months. Since inception, she's 20 plus years as PC qualified legend, field trainer for South Carolina in the employee benefit division. And she's got business to business, commercial driver, and small business certified. So we're excited to have you on board, Ann. And we would like to ask you, what were you doing before you got involved with Legal Shield and ID Shield?
Well, thank you, Karen, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit tonight. It's been a wonderful journey and a short journey, although it's been 22 years, but it seemed like so short. I was in corporate administration. I worked, first of all, for a small college just north of Charlotte. Tony, you probably heard of Davidson College. And I worked there in the admissions office. And I actually knew Coach Jim Larinaga, who is now the coach at Miami, Go Miami. So anyway, so that was a good venture for me. And then I started working for a law firm in Charlotte. And that was interesting. So I do know how attorneys bill, and I know that they are terribly expensive. And then I was recruited by a commercial real estate agent in Charlotte, and I worked for that company for 15 years. And then I discovered Legal Shield. So that's kind of my short resume on what I did before Legal Shield.
Okay, fantastic. And what drove you for success? What was the thing that you really wanted for yourself and your family?
Well, so in the corporate world, as most of you know, or at least in mine, I was a coworker with many people, but I was paid what the owner wanted me to be paid. And so it was across the board, whether I performed extremely well, which I think I did, or whether I was a newbie in the company, I was paid, I got the same bonuses they did, I got the same pay increase they did. And I just didn't think that was an equitable way to make a living. So I wanted to be my own boss. Bottom line, I wanted to be my own boss. And Legal Shield, you know, had that option for me, obviously. So as an independent associate, I really have enjoyed being my own boss. But the thing about Legal Shield that really drove me was the residual income. I knew insurance brokers, and I knew they were making a ton of money, and they didn't work. They were just making residual income. And I thought, well, you know, Legal Shield offers that. So I've just enjoyed the opportunity that I've had with Legal Shield in so many ways.
Wonderful. Well, we all in business go through some road bumps and things that happen in our business. What would you
Right.
say were some of the biggest road bumps that you had to overcome?
And we all do have those. You're right, Karen. I think for me, a couple of things, and not unlike many of you on the call tonight, but for me, I had to learn how to work from home. I was used to working in the corporate world. So I got in my car, I went to my office. I didn't have the distractions that we sometimes let creep in on us when we're working from home. We go through the house, or get a glass of water or a cup of coffee, and there's laundry to be done, and there's dusting to be done, there's floors to be cleaned, all those distractions that you see every single hour of the day when you're at home. So I had to structure my day and do my time management early in the morning or the night before, and then I closed my door and put a do not disturb sign on my door, and I buckled in and made my phone calls and did my emails, set up my appointments. And I really had to learn to do that, though. And it takes a lot of discipline to do that. And so that was one thing. And then I guess, as I've heard on this call and other calls before, I just hated the no's. My family said no. Most of them bought the membership, but you have to just kind of get calloused to the no's, especially when it's somebody that you just love and they just don't see the value. So that was also a little speed bump for me. I got over that.
Well, there will be people that just say no, and you got to move through it. So good for
That's
you
true.
for moving through it. That's why you're making over 100,000 and a Millionaire Club member. You just it didn't bother you. So
Yeah, right.
now, what is your life like now?
Well, it is. It's still busy. I work many hours a week and a month, and so it's busy. But I still have the flexibility that I was looking for by working from home, and so have time to sit out on my screened-in porch and watch the egrets and the herons and all the other birds around and the wildlife around. And that's really comforting, as it's just a peaceful feeling that I have. But I'm still driven, and I still want to do more and more. And the opportunity is still there, just as good as it was in 2001. So I'm looking forward to continuing the work and going for the prize.
Wonderful. Well, wonderful. That's a great explanation. You're still driven and you want to help more people.
Absolutely.
Really what it gets down to. So what we're going to do now is go out to a little Q&A. We're right at 6:30, but if anybody has a couple questions about how Ann, she works more specifically in the business solutions division, commercial driver and small business certified, as she works in those arenas. So if you have any questions, now would be a great time to raise your hand or just come off mute and ask a question. Who has a question? Quiet group.
Quiet group tonight.
Hi.
Hi, this is Paramjit in New York. My question to you is, when you first started with Legal Shield, when did you get that click in your brain, which basically said, or that light bulb moment, like, okay, this is going to work. I can see the money coming in. Like, how long did it take for that to happen? Because obviously everyone's got to fill their pipeline, right? I just want to hear that from you.
Right. And excuse me, you are right. It's different for everybody, and it depends on how fast you get started and how hard you work, actually. But it clicked in for me, I would say, probably in my second year, honestly, because I really didn't know about what we used to call, and Tony would remember this, group marketing. That's, I really didn't know what group marketing was. I just knew that I could, although I never had any sales experience whatsoever, I knew enough, I believed in the product enough to tell other people about it. And I did sign up some of my family members, but so I really worked basically in my warm market with friends and friends of friends. And I took it kind of slow to start with because I was a sponge for information. And then when I did learn about group school, that's when it really clicked, because in the real estate company that I worked for, I was in HR. So I knew a good benefit when I saw it, okay? And I knew a bad one when I saw it too. So I had a lot of contacts in the HR world. So when I decided to go full-time, because I did start part-time, so when I decided to go full-time in about a year, maybe a year and a half after that, I had a long list of HR people that I called and said, I have my own business now, would like to come talk to you about my benefits. So I hope that answered your question. About a year and a half, I started seeing good money come in.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
And I have a quick question, Anne. What's your favorite way to contact people? Because, we all have to get out there and make contacts. Is it networking? Is it Chamber of Commerce? Or what would you say is your favorite?
I've always been connected with Chambers of Commerce. In Charlotte, I was a member there, and now I'm a member of the Myrtle Beach Chamber as well as the Georgetown Chamber. So I find that when I participate in some of the committees that I'm on, or whether I'm just networking in a business after hours, I meet people like that. And then my referral network has been very good for me too. So companies that I've worked with refer me into other companies. So it's word of mouth, but mainly to start with Chambers of Commerce. That was very helpful for me.
And the referral people that refer you, obviously you create a relationship with them, so they feel comfortable with you. But is there anything else that you do for your groups to have them feel comfortable referring you?
I think just being there for them, keeping that relationship strong and open. And one of the taglines in the real estate company I worked for was, "We develop relationships." And I carried that with me. It's still part of my plan every single day, is developing relationships and fostering those relationships after you start them. Because, you don't want to just start a relationship with a company and then forget about them, because you do want to be invited back in the next year to service that account. So
Yes.
I think just truly developing a good relationship with your clients. And that's really the most important thing I can say about that.
Fantastic. Well, we've got Deborah and Endel. Yeah, go ahead, Deborah. That'd be great to get your question. You can come off mute.
I've been hearing this, and I just don't know what to do about it. People have been telling me something about pyramid schemes, and I say, no, it's not a pyramid scheme, but I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what to say. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've heard that too. Probably everybody on this call that's been in the business for a while has heard that, and you've had to deal with it. And it depends on who that person is and how credible are they? What do they know even about a pyramid scheme? It's just a negative comment that I just say, we have different divisions within our company. We have network marketing, we have B2B solutions, we have commercial drivers, and then I just kind of go through all the different divisions that we have, but we are not a pyramid scheme. I don't know if maybe somebody else can give a little bit more information on that you maybe have experienced yourself, but I try to help that person who is not in the know, probably, understand that we are a 50-year-old company. And we've been around the block a few times. And if we were a pyramid scheme, we would have been closed down by now, like some of the other businesses that you folks know about that haven't lasted. So I think that just give a little bit of history about our company and don't go overboard. We don't have to defend our company. I hope that's helpful, Deborah.
Very helpful. Thank you.
That's wonderful. And then we have, is it Endwell? I'm
Well,
saying
yes,
it
ma'am. It's
wrong.
Calvin Stewart.
Calvin.
That's my call letters for my email address. So I'm sorry, I just set up a new computer. My question is, I was noticing, Ann, that you said you went through corporate administration. You went into a legal firm, and you also, you did real estate. Everything you said you did was about, upward mobility, and my question is, what was your overall why? I mean, how did you determine, you really wanted to do this? I know you said you didn't want to get paid for what you felt like you were worth, but
Right.
Was that your main why, or what was the main thing?
At that time, I had 2 grandsons that were very, very young. And I really wanted some time with them, and I didn't have that when I worked 8 to 5 or 8 to faint. So that was one personal thing that drove me. But then, as I said, I felt like I wasn't being paid what I was worth, and I wanted to prove to myself more than to anybody else that I could do better. And was I a little nervous about that decision? Yeah, I was, because I'm used to a monthly paycheck and a bonus based on what the owner's willing to pay, and a little increase maybe once a year. Little, I mean, very small. And so that's what my life was then. And I just knew that there was something else out there, and Legal Shield had all the things I was looking for. But as I said, I've never sold anything in my life. And I thought, okay, I'm a 1099er now. If I don't sell, I don't get paid. So that's when I really took all the group classes I could, because that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in that arena. And so I just got as much education as I could, and then I retook the classes again and again. I don't know how many times I've taken group school or B2B certification now. But it was just something that it was just the right timing for me, I think.
That's
I hope that
perfect.
helped you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, do we have any other questions before we wrap up the call? It's been wonderful getting the inside edition from Ann. So.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tony. Good to see you. See you in
Thank you, Ann.
Charlotte.
Thank you, Ann.
And we
Thank
are
you
going
all.
to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I know Tony and Ann are really close to.
Ann at the breakout. We'll see Ann at the breakout.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll be there at 7:45, Tony.
Yeah, on
NYC.
Sunday.
Okay.
Good.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Okay.
on Sunday. Oh, right.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
everyone for being on, and hopefully we'll see you in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, bye for
Bye-bye.
now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.